What is going on, horror fans? Scream Fanatic here, and in this video, I kind of want to shake things up a little bit. I mainly talk purely about Scream, which I'll continue to do, but never have I ever merged the world of Scream with other horror genres or movies or other psychological thrillers, and today I want to do that. And I want to do that with the movie Send Help, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely, in my opinion, better than Scream 7, which dropped the ball, and this movie didn't. Send Help is one of the greatest movies ever to ever exist. It's not even an opinion, it's just a fact. But I thought of something. Could Linda Liddle survive a Ghostface attack? Now, this is very interesting because Linda Liddle, we know how she's built, okay? Linda Liddle, if you're not familiar with her, she worked in this office for this executive company. I'm not sure what it's called, but she worked in this department called strategy and planning. And basically she was the brains of that company. She's the one who held everything together, okay? She was a savant at numbers, right? She was highly intelligent. She was great for the company, right? And then of course, as we all know, she ended up on a plane to go to Bangkok, with her asshole boss and his asshole frat boy friends. And then a storm hit, which was a blessing because all those guys got yeeted, got slimed out as they all deserved. And then of course she got, stuck on an island with her, asshole boss, Bradley Preston. And we all know what happens. She traps him on that island, withholds any chance of them escaping together, manipulates him, outsmarts him, outplays him, controls him, and ends up killing him and escapes the island alone, and then goes on to become a celebrity, a real-life survivor. The Linda Liddle is what she became. But imagine if Send Help and Scream were in the same universe. Linda's in the world of Scream, right? The events of Scream are canon to Send Help. Well, in this reality, Linda Liddle is a celebrity. Everyone knows who she is. And based off that, she's already going to have a target on her back. And whoever is running the next Ghostface cycle, I'm not going to name a particular Ghostface in this hypothetical because Ghostface can literally be anyone. Let's just say someone is stalking her, keeping tabs on her, and wants to be the one to kill the real life survivor, Linda Liddle. Wants to pride themselves that I killed Linda. Let's say there's a sicko out there who wants to put on the mask and kill her. What would happen in this situation? It's very interesting because Linda Liddle, she has that psycho in her. She's got that savage in her. But not only that, not only is she crazy, but she's highly intelligent, okay? She showed how resourceful she was on the island with Bradley. She literally took down a boar. And not just any boar. This boar was feral, more dangerous than any other boar. It was drooling, snot was coming out of its nose. It wasn't rabid, otherwise she wouldn't be able to eat it. But taking down a boar by herself is pretty impressive. And the way she outplayed Bradley, outsmarted him to finish him, to kill him off, the way she pulled that off makes her no pushover for a Ghostface killer. She's definitely that Sidney Prescott level, okay? It would take the perfect game plan to be able to take someone like her down. And with her being rich, she definitely lives in a mansion, and we know that she has a really good security system, okay? And I'm pretty sure Linda, from strategy and planning, she's prepared for moments like this, especially being a celebrity. She might have some creepy stalker fans. She's prepared for breaking and entering situations, home invasion situations. And if Linda Liddle existed in the world of Scream, where Send Help and Scream was merged together, everyone knows in the Scream universe who Ghostface is. Everyone knows who Sidney is. Everyone knows about the 30-year cycle of repeated Ghostface killing sprees. So let's say Linda Liddle is no stranger to who Ghostface is and what Ghostface does, then already she's at an advantage here. Now, if Linda Liddle does not know who Ghostface is, and this is new for her, then Linda Liddle could be in a pretty dangerous situation. But I'm just going to say Linda knows exactly who Ghostface is. So when Linda Liddle gets the call and she hears that Roger L. Jackson voice, Linda Liddle is not going to be shocked, and she's already going to prepare her defense. Like, we already know Linda Liddle is super hyper vigilant. Okay, she's been through a lot in her life. She's dealt with an abusive husband for 10 years. She literally indirectly killed him. Like, if you don't know, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the movie, click off this video. Basically, she was with a man for 10 years who was abusive, and he was a drinker, and she had a habit of hiding his car keys so he won't drink and drive and die. But one day she was pushed over the edge and literally just gave him the keys, poured him his last drink so he could drive off drunk and die. That's like a piece of guilt that she's carried with her for years, and she confessed that to Bradley, right? So she's been through a lot, okay? She's dealt with an asshole boss, a boss who was manipulative, a boss who tried to poison her, who literally betrayed her trust, who literally tried to kill her, who literally tried to gouge her eyes out, okay? So coming out of that island, Linda Liddle is going to be 1,000 times more dangerous and more hyper alert than she was before going to that island. So Ghostface is going to be dealing with a different version of Linda Liddle. So she gets that call. Linda might entertain the phone call a little bit, but for how long? Not long enough. Like, she might not play into the trivia questions with Ghostface. She might keep him talking for a little bit as she maneuvers through her house, and looks for any weapon she can find possible. She probably has a rifle with her, and she did pick up the sport of golf. She definitely has some golf clubs. She's going to have some weapons on her that she can use to take Ghostface out. Now, the only thing that would worry me for Linda is the fact that Ghostface has crazy plot armor, and if the plot needs Ghostface to win, to set an example for how dangerous this current killer is, Ghostface will win no matter who you are. That Ghostface robe and mask gives you a different level of superpower and skill. Even if you're an absolute weak nerd or twerp, the moment you put on that suit, you're a different man or a different woman. So that's the only thing that would worry me for Linda. But because Linda Liddle has that final girl energy, the plot may allow her to win, and Linda's plot armor might beat Ghostface's plot armor. And if that's the case, I do think that Linda Liddle, her strategy and planning and her high-level survival skills, combined with that psycho killer energy that she has to her, that inner savagery she has to her, sorry, I botched that. Based off of all of that, as long as her plot armor is on par with Ghostface's plot armor, and the plot respects her enough given who she is, I do say that Linda Liddle would survive a Ghostface attack. Not could, she would. Because I think she would see Ghostface coming from a mile away. She would outsmart Ghostface. Ghostface would have a hard time entering in the house undetected, given how good her security system's gonna be. And Linda Liddle, she's very good at the element of surprise. She's very good at catching her opponents off guard. I mean, when she was hunting that boar in Send Help, she literally used her scarf as a distraction so the boar could sniff out the scarf. She climbed up a tree, then jumped off the tree and stabbed the boar in the back. And when Bradley Preston in the final act was chasing Linda Liddle through the jungle with the knife, Linda was like hiding behind a tree, but then she disappeared throughout the forest, used her shoes as bait so Bradley could be confused, and then she starts strangling Bradley with her shoelace. Didn't kill him. Bradley, pulled off her a piece of her scalp to break the hold, but still, she pulled that off. And then even with that house on the island in Send Help, the way she was able to hide that house from Bradley, but then when she knew that Bradley found the house, the way she was able to get that head start, beat him to it, and already get in like that security room and watch him through the speakers and taunt him, and everything she did to set up killing him in the end. I think she's very capable of doing the same thing to Ghostface. She might use some type of bait to distract Ghostface, then pop up out of nowhere and either shoot Ghostface, and then she might know the rule. If let's say she's been watching Stab, she might know the rule, you got to shoot him in the head. And if she knows that, she will shoot him in the head. Or if not, she will crush his skull with a golf club. And then it's going to be on the news that Linda freaking Liddle survived the Ghostface attack. And not only survived the Ghostface attack, but killed the Ghostface in self-defense. And then that would make Linda an even bigger star, an even bigger celebrity, which might put a bigger target on her back. But I mean, who other than Sidney Prescott has not only killed but unmasked the killer? Only Sidney has been able to do this in almost every final act of Scream. So if Sidney finds out on the news, in the media, that someone other than herself beat Ghostface and unmasked him or her, that might actually entice Sidney. It might catch her attention. And who knows? I mean, maybe Sidney might leave her alone, but Sidney in the Scream universe is a bit of a celebrity herself. So it's possible that Sidney might try to reach out to Linda. And maybe Sidney Prescott and Linda Liddle might end up teaming up and becoming friends. You know, Sidney could be of good use and a good help to Linda. I mean, Linda can take care of herself, but you know, like I said, there will be a target on her back now. More Ghostface killers will be like, oh, this woman just killed a Ghostface killer. And then, you know, another killer is going to get the idea to try and, you know, be the Ghostface that actually succeeds, like they always do with Sidney. So it might create a never-ending cycle. But if a partnership with Linda and Sidney happens, Linda and Sidney together would be completely unstoppable. But I got to do more videos of these in the future, which I will. I might even do some like fantasy matchups over like which final girl would win against who, or which serial killer would beat who. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like, if you are familiar with Send Help and Linda Liddle, am I correct or am I being a bit biased? Can Linda Liddle survive a Ghostface attack? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, and like and subscribe, and peace out.